All right, let's talk about apple cider vinegar. You've probably heard of it, right? It's this ancient remedy that is just, well, completely blown up in the wellness world. But here's the real question we all want to know. Should you really be drinking this stuff every single day?
I mean, you can't escape it, can you? It's all over your social media feeds. You've got TikToks of people taking morning shots, YouTube gurus calling it a cure-all. It is, without a doubt, one of the biggest health trends out there right now.
So we're going to get to the bottom of this. Is apple cider vinegar, or ACV as you'll see it called, is it really the health hero everyone claims? Or, is this just another case of internet hype getting way ahead of the actual science?
So to figure this out, we're going to break it down. First, we'll look at the good stuff, the potential perks, why everyone's so excited. Then, and this is important, we'll hit a big reality check on the risks. We'll even cover some critical drug interactions you absolutely have to know about. From there, we'll give you a super clear safety rulebook, and then we'll land on our final verdict.
All right, let's start with the promise. What's all the buzz about? Why are so many people making this a part of their daily routine? Let's see.
Okay, so here's what's interesting. There is some actual science to back up some of the claims. For instance, the acetic acid in the vinegar seems to slow down digestion a bit. That can help stop those big blood sugar spikes after you eat a bunch of carbs. And because it makes you feel fuller, that's where the whole modest weight management idea comes from. Plus, yeah, it has antioxidants and it's antimicrobial. That's why people have used it to preserve food for ever. But notice the key words I'm using here. May help, modest. This isn't exactly a slam dunk.
Right, but those modest benefits, that's really only half the story. Now it's time for a major pivot. We need to do a serious reality check and separate what science actually says from what you're seeing on social media.
And here's the thing. This is the crucial point. Yeah, there are some potential benefits, but the human studies we have are often really small or didn't last very long. And on the flip side of that, the risks of doing this wrong are very, very real. And listen, I'm not exaggerating here. This quote, it comes from a review where scientists were looking at harmful liquids, and they found that vinegar was the _1 cause of throat burns in kids. Just let that sink in for a second. When scientists are calling something you have in your kitchen a potent caustic substance, you really, really need to pay attention.
And the damage it can do is well documented. Because it's so acidic, it can literally eat away at your tooth enamel and even burn your throat. It also slows down how fast your stomach empties, which, if you have a condition like gastroparesis, that's an absolute disaster. And if you use a lot of it for a long time, it gets even more serious. We're talking documented cases of dangerously low potassium levels, which can then lead to things like weakened bones.
Okay, let's talk about the biggest claim of all, weight loss. The viral claim is that ACV just melts fat away. Well, the reality is, any effects are modest, at best. But here's the real kicker. A huge study that went viral this year, the one that showed these amazing weight loss results, it was just officially retracted. Why? Because experts looked at it and found unreliable data and implausible results. This is a massive deal, and it's the perfect example of why we have to be so skeptical of these trends.
But the risks don't even stop there. This next part is a really critical warning, especially for anyone who takes prescription medication. Seriously, this is information you cannot afford to skip.
Just look at this. This shows you that ACV isn't just a salad dressing, it's a biologically active substance. So if you're on diabetes meds like insulin, combining that with ACV can basically double down on the effect and send your blood sugar dangerously low. If you take diuretics, water pills, both the drug and the ACV can drain your potassium, leading to a serious deficiency. And that low potassium becomes especially dangerous if you take the heart medication digoxin, because it makes the drug way more toxic.
Okay, wow. So after all those warnings, you might be thinking, I should just stay away from this stuff completely. And maybe so. But if you do still want to try it, there is a way to do it safely. Think of this as your official safety rulebook. These 4 rules are absolutely 100% non-negotiable. First, and I cannot say this enough, always dilute it. Never, ever drink it straight. We're talking 1 or 2 tablespoons mixed into a big glass of water. Second, use a straw. That helps protect your teeth. Third, when you're done drinking it, swish your mouth with some plain water to wash away that acid. And finally, and this is so important, limit your dose.
So what is that limit? 1 to 2 tablespoons. That's it for the whole day. This is one of those things where more is definitely not better. In fact, more can be really harmful.
So we've walked through the potential perks, the very real risks, the drug interactions, and the safety rules. It's time to bring it all home. What's the bottom line here?
So, after all that, is apple cider vinegar the magic bullet for your health? Well, based on the actual evidence, the answer is a pretty clear no. It is not the miracle cure-all that social media might want you to believe.
So here's what you really need to remember. First, the potential benefits are modest, and honestly, we need a lot more good research. Second, the risks are significant, and they are very real, from your teeth to your medications. And third, if you're going to use it, safety is everything. That means dilute it, limit it, and know the risks you're taking.
And that really leaves us with one final question to think about. In this whole search for better health, is ACV a helpful, if pretty minor tool, or has all the hype become a giant distraction from the things we know actually work? Like a balanced diet, moving your body, and getting good sleep. Something to think about, for sure.